Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports talk all about FaZe. Yet again, I know you guys are all surprised. I love talking about the organization and the crazy things they do. One of the crazier things about them is one of their owners. That's going to be FaZe Banks. I listened to an Adam22 interview. The full thing linked down below for all of you guys who want to listen, and I advise you, you probably do want to listen, because if there's anyone out there who I would call almost a unicorn of esports, someone who a lot of people out there don't even believe is real in the way he acts, that's going to be FaZe Banks. He does some astounding things, and we're going to talk about and try and summarize his thoughts on 3 issues out there, that being, of course, his Las Vegas flight, which apparently he was kicked off of, the hotel room he did destroy with the rumored $30,000 in damages, and very lastly, his quick thoughts on the FaZe Jarvis ban. Again, that full interview linked down below for all of you guys as he tries to summarize his thoughts in the interview, and they are as hectic as ever. Whenever I talk about Banks, and I will probably talk about this for the rest of my life, I cannot imagine any other esports owner or high-up figure getting away with this kind of thing, and it's almost the fact that Banks has done so many crazy things, people are just kind of like, oh, yeah, Banks did this, not too big of a deal. If it was Jack Etienne from Cloud9, if it was Liquid Steve, if it was Hector Rodriguez, people would be freaking out. I think investors would be worried. At this point in time, we have literally come to expect just these crazy stories from a guy like Banks. First of all, he tried to explain his flight over, where he did piss off one of the airline flight attendants. He obviously then went on to avoid her, and all of this while he was semi-intoxicated. They actually chose to kick him off the flight. Even more so, though, is his plan of what he was going to do once they were in the air, because she pissed him off. As he goes on to state, he was gonna throw up in the aisle, take a big dump in the bathroom, so on and so forth, try and bother her as much as possible. It blew my mind. This is an esports owner.
We're on the flight, and right off the rip, this lady doesn't like us. We tried to get some girls who were on the flight that we knew to like move close to us. The flight's like half empty. I see her name tag is Chantel, and I'm kind of drunk, and I call her over and I go, "Hey, what's your last name?" And she says it, and I go, "Oh, I would have thought it would have been Jeffries." And like the people I was with half laughed at that. It wasn't even a funny joke, but they kind of laughed, and she thought we were shitting on her. We're chilling. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit drunk right now, and I was in the exit rows because I'm long, and I don't want to sit in the regular shitty seats. And she goes, "Oh, you're kind of drunk right now? Well, then I can't let you sit there." And just really pulled that card, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And now my friends at this point are like, "Yo, please don't get kicked off the plane. Just sit the and I was in my head, I was like, yo, as soon as this flight takes off, I'm gonna myself throw up in the aisle. I'm gonna go drop a fat shit in the bathroom and not flush it. I'm gonna hit the little light 25 times and ask for a million different weird things."
He then secondly tried to touch on the hotel room. He was actually here in Vegas, so apparently not too long ago. If you guys heard about this, destroyed the hotel room at the Wynn Resort, or the Wynn Casino. He has now ever since been given a lifetime ban from Wynn, and probably rightfully so. The damage that was done, reported figures of $30,000, broken TV, broken window, just a trashed room altogether. Amongst that, holes in the wall, so on and so forth. You guys can imagine what it probably looked like with those rumored amounts of damages, which, by the way, could even be higher than $30,000 with how Banks was trying to avoid that number. That number apparently still being evaluated for how much damage he actually did cause in that hotel room. Even further than that, though, was his plan he tried to discuss. And again, this is a public, prominent esports figure for an organization, one of the biggest well-known brands in esports, now coming forward about his plan of what he was going to do to try and get out of trouble at the Wynn Resort and Casino here in Las Vegas. And his plan, it might not surprise you, but oh.
Right.
Yeah.
You had naked women in the hotel room?
No, there was actually no females present when we room.
You were having sex with your friends?
Can you talk about are you allowed to publicly talk about the consequences? Because I think that's the most interesting part.
No, listen, it's been resolved with the hotel and casino. I'm 86 for life. I'm banned forever.
From which hotel?
Encore and Wynn, which is completely fine. Honestly, it sucks because it really is like the best one in Vegas. It's one of the best ones.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it sucks. But I'm 86 forever. It cost a lot of I'm not going to talk about how much money it cost.
Damn it. That's the part I wanted to hear.
I'm not
I mean, I know, but...
truthfully, to be honest, I don't know the total amount. That's what's so scary, because it happened kind of a minute ago, and they're still, like,
assessing. And they could tell you that they're charging you whatever,
listen,
right?
Listen.
It's a $30,000 hotel room. Why not?
Like you said, 5,000 employees. We got people. We've been talking to them from the beginning. What's funny was, like, the aftermath, right? Like, the immediate aftermath. Like, I was, like, coming down from, like, sending it and being crazy, and like I kind of just realized what the did. How can I finesse myself out of this situation? Like, what can I actually do right now? And I was with like 5 of my homies.
He went out and got duct tape.
No, listen, I actually, this is real. I was like low-key starting to panic, and I was like, when it really hit me, like what I looked at my friends and I was like, yo, I got an idea. Like, you guys have to beat the me and just leave me in this hotel room and bounce. And just up unconscious and just leave
That's
me
a good plan.
I was gonna just be like, yo,
That is a good plan.
I was gonna go for it.
So we're just going to move on from that instance, guys. He's talked about getting kicked out the flight. He's talked about the hotel room here in Vegas he did destroy. And very lastly as well, I think a lot of what you guys are probably here for, his opinions on the FaZe Jarvis ban. For those of you guys who somehow did not realize who FaZe Jarvis was, he was actually banned just last week permanently from Fortnite for actually publicly cheating in a couple of his videos as well. He is a very well-known public figure and content creator in the scene, and he's the first of which a public content creator to be given a lifetime-long ban from Fortnite. He did break directly their TOS of actually cheating on the game, and ever since then we've seen many FaZe members, Banks himself, try and call for his unban because he was made an example of and given this long, lengthy, what we expect to be lifetime ban, which to me even was pretty surprising. Banks goes on to state that apparently because he is a public figure, it's a bit unfair because he is so public, he will actually not be able to play the game again as compared to a random player out there who cheats and is not a public figure. They can still play the game. They can find a way to still play the game, which does make a bit of sense, but at the same time, as a public prominent figure, you almost have to abide by the rules or, regard the rules a bit more even restrictively because you are so public, you are so out there, you're always exposed, and so you have to know that cheating, breaking the rules and cheating in a game like Fortnite is going to get you punished. And I've already talked about this, maybe a permanent ban being a bit too harsh. You guys kind of got mad at me for that, but here is what Banks had to say about it.
Like, a lot of people were arguing like he shouldn't get special treatment because he's famous or whatever. Jarvis was cheating. He was cheating. He would. I mean, before any of this came out, he was openly admitting to cheating. He showed himself cheating on the game, and he was got banned, lifetime ban. The reason why I even brought this up, the only point I was trying to make was, in his case, being famous and being a figure, like, because if anybody else were to cheat on the
Other
game,
people have done it and they haven't got banned.
Okay, but even they do the exact same thing Jarvis does. They get lifetime banned. You can't stop somebody from playing Fortnite anonymously.
Right.
Like, there's no way to actually lay the hammer down on that. But for Jarvis, like, he's a public figure, so everybody's watching what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he actually can't. Little Jimmy, 12-year-old Jimmy, who actually cheats on the game and actually does it to kids and all that. He gets a lifetime ban, and he laughs at it. I've been lifetime banned on games.
And there you have it, guys. More breaking FaZe news out there. Again, full interview link down below. I suggest you guys go watch it or the entire podcast. I think they actually did a recap of the entire KSI Logan Paul fight. On top of that, just some crazy stories, again, from FaZe Banks. And it won't be the last time I cover the guy. I'm not necessarily offended by the things he does. I'm just more so, I'm shocked by it. A lot of people aren't. But yes, FaZe Banks still continues to do some outrageous stuff. I'll call it to him time and time again. He's a unicorn in this esports and gaming scene. I don't think anyone else can get away with all the things he is doing, and he's just kind of building up his armor, right? He's building up all these stories out there. Me and my camera guy Pete talked about this. The more crazy stories that comes out about him and he gets away with, it's going to take a lot for people to actually think, wow, he did that. At this point in time, a lot of people out there are no longer surprised at what FaZe Banks actually says and does. And it's astonishing. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy breaking down gaming and esports news here every single day. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Be calm, all right? Be cool, be collected, and I'll see you guys back here sometime soon.